I need to have that talk with y'all that my uncle had with me on his deathbed. I'm all right for the most part. The oil and the glistening that you see in this hydrocortisone, and as best as I can show you without showing you my breasts, unless you seen one by mistake. I don't think the rash. I can't get into the details of that. I've talked it over with God, and I cannot get into the details of my rash. And it was a slow talk. It was a paced talk. I have my uncle. Let me pace myself. In case this is one of the last times you hear me living while my automated voice is still going on. The people have led me to, even if after I'm going to afterlife, start doing like 2 minute account videos. I've talked to the people we've talked it over, and they are not letting me off the hook that easy if the rapture comes first or if I die first, whichever. They want me to start doing some time capsules and to have to remember me by and for lessons learned and blessings. And so this will be one of many time capsules. And like him, I'm not crying, but I can feel welting up. I just can't help but feel like my time is near. And a couple of different movies are making me think about my own life, because I've had I'll start with the hypothermic shock. I was just out in the snow and waiting on the bus. And I'm not getting into all the details. I'm not strong enough, but I couldn't feel anything from about my knees to my waist down. But somehow I was still able to move my legs somewhat. I kind of had to drag them a little bit. And the military training, even though I don't remember being in the snow in the military, they still taught us what to do in different near-death situations. So, and this food crisis is also a near-death experience for. We all have near-death experiences. Unfortunately, no matter how good of a person you are, no matter how rotten you are, the wind and rain hits us all. So no, this is not a part of the condition. I'm not sweating from sometimes people, I'm not going to rule it out. Sometimes people do sweat from certain medical. That looks a whole lot better. That right there looks a whole lot better. That does too. Not that it looked bad. It didn't look bad, but I forgot to put some right here. Hang on. This jar is a little bit hard for me to open with my arthritis, so I'm gonna leave y'all over there while I lube up my chin. I'm not gonna say what it looks like on my chin, because I'll get banned from YouTube. So I'm having a near-death experience with my move. It's like my soul separating. I had a near-death experience when my mom used to put me out like honeymoon nightmare. She used to invite me back into her home just to throw me out. That's as strong enough as I can tell you. I can't say too much on that topic of what we about to discuss right now, because I'm not strong enough to go into. You can see here, I can't say what I'm telling you what it's looking like to me, but it's I'm gonna just stop. That'd be fun if it was drool, if I was drooling. Some people medically like drool coming out. Kylie, that's for you also. The tongue is for you, Kylie. So, and like I said, I can at least tell you moments where when I was put out by my mother, I didn't have the luxury Kyle did of saving up money and staying with my mom for long into my adulthood. So in the car, I would be living out of my car, and just in inclement weather, and leaving my windows up, sometimes all the way up, because crime people come thumping on your windows, and not everybody has that problem. It's just criminals know who to pick on, and I was so near death because I'm probably to this moment where I have breathing conditions. Is, you know, picture right now is I don't have to get into all that. You never. At least I hope I never do this to nobody. You never push nobody. I guess unless a crime happened, you might push somebody to a breaking point of talking about a crime that happened to them. Otherwise, I wouldn't do that, because you really want to find out who did this to them and how to nab the guy. So I won't rule it out. We're all human. But yeah, I met another interesting woman. I won't rule it out. Maybe that's what I need is an inhaler. I saw a woman on the bus. Again, you can pick your nose in your own dwelling. Now, if I was living in a community housing, okay, that's a no-no. Somebody be sitting there just staring at you, watching you pick your nose, and then they run down and tell the authorities what you're doing, so you can't do this. And really, you can't do it in a motel. I try my best. I don't do that in a motel. Certain things I don't do in a motel. Because I ain't going to get into, again, my enemies are watching this, so I ain't going to get into all that. Like, I might, but I watch doing it on camera. You probably can't do it on camera. So I need to be careful with that. Because the video's public, but this is my home, my apartment. So yeah, I should probably just be a little careful with everything in America. But so near death, and I was near death when I was in the military several times. There's certain things that I could do that a woman can't, not supposed to be able to do, not supposed to be able to survive and do. Like I want to tell publicly to help somebody, and I'm proud of these moments. I can't discuss what they did to me when I was in the service. I can't discuss what they did to me. They do something to all of us. We're not always together. There are times where they separate you and do things to you militarily, and so I don't know exactly what they did to me that made me this way. That's why people get PSD and they I a little more military now. When I was in the South, I really had to hide the mannerisms of being military. I had to hide the mannerisms. Some people still knew I was in the service. I don't know how they found out, but some people would ask me, "You serve? You look military." They might have just been nosing and trying to see if I had cash on with the military. Act a certain way, and it's not just me. If you're military, you got you're gonna have a lot of responsibilities because people know they might not know your skill set per se. If you believe in take the oath that we took, but people see military, and it's like if you see a cop or a EMT, some kind of a U.S. official, they know you're going to help them, or you could point them to someone who could help them. And if it's somebody who crossed you, then you know where you can tell them where they could go. I ain't going to say it because I'm going to get a ban. And yeah, just near-death experiences. Food. I'm not trying to rush this. I am crying because I don't know how much longer y'all going to be with me, if I'm going to die or the rapture, whichever comes first. But I promised y'all, love y'all, love me, and her fans, her and me, she and I forgot her name goes first, so she's more vain than me, and so her name goes first, but I can't wait to meet you, and I promised y'all an infinite amount of videos, even the people who hate me watching, thank you for the compliment to everybody, the good and the bad, the good and the ugly. It's a movie or something called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Until they say something, I gotta get this nose. I ain't gonna say what I'm doing to it, but So then I met this military guy. He said he saw me exiting the program I'm in right now with housing. He said he could help me financially, and I ain't gonna get into the details of what ways that he can help me. But yeah, I wasn't like that's who gave me the turkey, and I took the turkey, and he offered. We exchanged contact information. He offered contact information, and I gave him my contact information, my email. So I never thought in a million years I'd be living to see 2025, and I never thought in a million years I'm old school phone number, even though I'm young. I am in the generation where when we dating, we exchange phone numbers, even though I've emailed some people that I liked, whatever, I guess, well, courting, I don't know, that's for my generation, but I like to say courting because it's a funny word. And, so, phone numbers is how I'm used to giving out my dating information, and I never thought in a million years I'd be doing, it's these Gen Z motherfuckers, they got me, these Gen Z fucks. Gen Z is forcing me to admit I know technology, they forcing me, like, that's outdated, exchanging phone numbers. They let me know, I talk to them, it's time you upgrade email. You know how to email, quit acting like you don't. So the Gen Z and the ZY and the XX and the Ku Klux and whoever the fuck y'all, all these different letters, all these different generations, fuck all y'all. Oh man, I'm getting mixed up, but the younger ones, they're right. So email, we did the email. I ain't mean make a joke, but the shit just got funny to me all of a sudden. Whichever Gen Z, whatever generation is, one of them got a really cool name to it. One of them is like cool as shit. Alpha Gen. That just like why couldn't we got a boring one for the 80s. It's like I don't even remember. I knew, and I was teaching. I ain't gonna say their names. I don't want to think about these dudes, but I was teaching them about it. They didn't know, and they was making digs at my age. And these guys were like older than me, so. But I can't remember what mine is. Millennials, maybe the millennial. If you was born in 1980, and I kept telling them I'm a millennial because of the way my birthday falls, and they were like, "You too old to be a millennial." They really talk that way. So the way my birthday falls, I'm a millennial, and a lot of people don't. I'm trying to help people out in these time capsules, and I'm trying to help you know what's hip and what's trending now. People are still in the 70s and the 50s, and to a point, you can live in the past, but you got to keep up with the modern language, jargons, lingos, at least 2 or 3 of them. And millennials is a word you should know. Gen Z, at least Gen Z and millennials, you don't have to know each of them, but that would be more ideal. When I had a good instructor, they would tell me you should know this, this, and this, X, Y, and Z, but it would be more ideal if you knew all 3. So that's what I'm telling you. It would be more ideal if you knew all of the generations, but if you knew like I still get confused about the baby boomers. That sound cool as hell, but not as cool as Alpha Gen. I be trying to make myself a baby boomer because that shit just sound cool as hell. And I'm like, them the ones that was fucking a lot, and because of the war. And anyway, even though this is not gonna be marked suitable for kids, I don't know if I'm gonna get a ban for this because of all the cussing. So I'm gonna try to draw back on the cussing so much, even though people are threatening me because I'm not being myself in these videos. I'm censoring my own videos, so try not to cuss the rest of the. Maybe they give you so many cuss words per minute, so I'm gonna try to not test it unless the government wants me to. But anyway. Like I said, just certain things I can't think of none off the top of my head. You should just know certain dates, like 2020s, 2020, 2021, keep going up. We in 2025. If you don't know how to count, you really got some problems. So I'm not going to count for you unless Trump pays me to do it. And so we're in 2025, in this decade, which is almost, 5 years out, we are in the 2020s. Get used to saying that it'll make you more comfortable as time go on. Because, like, when 2001 came, we all got scared. It was Y2J and the world was going in. I remember just thinking, these people are stupid. Like, in Marlon Wayans' voice, stupid. He said that a lot of the Wayans brothers, and he says the people that could, like, clearly knock his ass out, but it's just, like, stupid. Nothing happened. My mom was like, it was like at some point in my stand-up, if not now, then when? I gotta tell you, my mom was like, don't set the clocks back, they're gonna blow up. And then she was like worried about the clocks. Though this, like, when 2000, the time is not used to hitting 2001, and maybe it was 2000, 2001, one of those 2 years. Maybe it was 1999 to 2000, and my mom, I don't know, like, she was not messing around. She was really scared. She was like, when 2000, this is why I'm Looney Tunes. This is my mother. When she said, when 2001 hits, don't set your clocks back. They're going to blow up. Time is not, she sounded like Doc Brown. She sounded like Doc Brown saying that time wasn't ready to see twos. Twos, she said, that's scary to me, Lisa. Don't you laugh at me. That's 2. And then you got 3 zeros behind it. And she was like, we're not ready. We're not equipped here in America to see 2 in a year. She said, look at it, write it down. She made me write it. Write it. That looks weird compared to the 90s. This has never happened before, because my mom's born, presumed 1956, right? So, fact check, she's right about as far as her timeline on how long she was on Earth. I'm not sure about anything else she told me. So 1956, she wasn't, I guess, prepared to live that long. And she's like, what do I do now, Lisa? And then so it was like about a couple years of panic. I'm not sure how many, maybe 6 years leading up to 2000. And I was just like, walk around. That's why she called me such an asshole in high school. Like, I'm strutting around the house. What's in there to eat? I didn't get much to eat in her household. But she's telling me, Lisa, I'm not concerned with that right now. I'm concerned with, what? Come here and look at the TV. I never thought about it before. She come in there and have me go in there and make sense of what she was watching. Look at the news. Tell me what's going on. I'm watching it, telling her. I can't, before they put me in my coffin and close it. If I am near death and I'm about to go out, I'm going to expose it before they close my coffin. I'm coming there looking at mama. That's just, shit. Dan Rather, Karen Abernathy, whoever these folks is. I can't remember their fucking names. Like, mom, they just talking about weather or something. Like Andre's mom on that show Victorious. Andre's mom. That's how my mom is, like, freak out about everything. Like Andre, it might be Andre's grandmom on that TV show Victorious. Come on, Nickelodeon. Andre. That's how my mama called me. Like, Lisa, get in here. Tell me what's going on the TV. UFOs and shit, which certain topics me and mother agreed on. But she was like 2000. I can't remember everything that went down as far as her paranoia about. I know I'm paranoid, but I like to deny it. And Kylie calls me paranoid a lot in our marriage. And so at least I admit it every now and again, every blue moon. My mom never could admit she was paranoid. And God, man, dudes love to blaze her, especially Billy Knight, the mayor. He ain't a bad looking dude. Somehow she got on that man bad. So I don't know what the fuck he did. I don't know if they had a date and it went wrong or what. Dude's a homosexual or what, but mom has a choice words for Billy Knight, and I was just like, I don't even know how I knew he had a very prestige position in Moss Point, Mississippi, America at the time, but something just told me he looked like something big. Let me watch what I respond with. Because my mom come in the kitchen talking about the kitchen was like our conference room. Anytime someone went down in the house, it was the cleanest place in the house. So I kept that the cleanest because that was our showroom when we had company come over, whether it was family or total strangers. So kitchen was showroom, even though it still was a wreck because she wouldn't let me clean it how I want to. Because stop, Lisa, get in here and clean up the kitchen. Lisa, I can't find my stuff because you done got up in here and cleaned up. So then nobody in the family got a sense of humor about it, so I started laughing at her, and then she said, I don't know, I'm jumping around. This is because I'm on my deathbed. She was like, y'all making fun of me. Y'all making fun of mama. No, mama, no. We clearly lying. Tell me what you said then. So finally, as years went on, I finally got some courage. I was gonna say stone, but I don't got no male genitalia down there. And but it's just like a force of habit saying, I don't know why. Probably because I was abused and at one point in my life confused about my sexuality. I'm no longer confused in that area. I got a strong partner, and I cleaned the kitchen up, and then we was coming there. She talked to us in the conference room, which was the kitchen. She never called it the conference room, but I'm recalling the wording of how I saw it in my mind. It wasn't set up like one. It was like a low budget but goodie. It was like a place out of the cold and rain to talk about whatever horse shit she want to talk about. Usually with some kind of mess or junk. Never nothing nutritious conversation. But every now and again we got lucky and we had a conference room, and she used to beat us down with that belt in the living room. If it was getting close to the holiday, I was allowed to clean the living room. And I had to be careful what I touched and stuff. So. I'm recalling now a memory in my home, and the cops make me draw it out. They make me draw out my mother's home. I'm not sure which version of her is still alive. I don't have to get into all that, but the layout of the house, I know that the kitchen, living room, hallway, bathroom, full size, was one time my bedroom, Nick's bedroom, not simultaneously. Then it became Andrew's bedroom. Then right next to that, you go down that hallway. That was my room at one time. For some reason, she moved us around between them two rooms. Those are the kids' rooms, and she moved us around back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then right adjacent was her room. She had a little full-size bathroom, and there was windows, the hallway, and her bedroom was a creepy window where she used to keep her door partially cracked and look and see what we was up to, especially me. But I just never really thought about how creepy my mother's house was until now. Like, you've seen my place, and she can't really be my bio mom when I think about the way I keep this place. I'm spooked all of a sudden, so but I have to keep going. Cops are making me do this. The cops are, so I have to tell you what I know about her. And it was like the TV show Hoarders. Each room was like Hoarders. The bathroom was very unkept, and I didn't take a stand. When I was living in that house, she made me clean the bathroom behind the boys, and the boys that had to do no work. But when I moved out, this is how sexist my mom is. Andrew just didn't clean the bathroom. This is how sexist. When I lived there, the bathroom was always clean. She was scared to tell him what to do. That's why he eventually got put out. So I didn't recall why the bathroom was unkept until now, but that was so. I don't even know what was the point of the video. I think I was talking about near-death experiences. I didn't want to talk about the layout of the house. Oh, and then I don't want my ex to be the only one. It's a garage with the little columns. It was four, maybe a couple of columns, and wasn't a bad porch. The garage was okay. It's a little room with a washer dryer, and I used to hate it when she used to tell me to go in there. I'm not gonna talk about that, but I'm just gonna say the garage was creepy. having to go in there was creepy. And, it's concerning me that I'm having memory blocks on, and I just recalled a memory. I'm gonna set it for you what's on my mind. My brothers were so mean to me that I used to have to wash my clothes at night, and the thugs used to walk up and down the streets, like, cause the garage door is like it's like if you step outside, it's like if somebody took your house and left your bedroom with the door, and you can open the door. You know, picture your wash and dry being in your bedroom, and as soon as you walk out your bedroom door, you outside. That's how our garage looks. So fucking creepy doing laundry. It's all times of day, but especially at night. Because when I was it probably was meant to be intimidating. I can't high school age, and that was late night was the only time. Not I recall hindsight. They probably did that out of spite. Because they did it to me at the flop house. The people who lived there knew I had to go to work and have a clean uniform, knew I was military, and I had to do something militarily. Had to go be someplace militarily, some kind of function, and they would keep me from getting my clothes clean. Because when you're military, you gotta. Plus, I'm a germaphobe. You gotta keep your clothes clean. So, hindsight, my brothers did that shit out of spite, and I wound up washing my clothes at night. Until my mom got on to me about it, because I just refused to snitch on my brothers. And so probably was Larry Blackman just walking up and down, intimidated, glaring at me while I'm washing my clothes. But nobody ever walked up on the porch, because at one time we had a little mean ass dog, and it wasn't my brothers. They definitely weren't scared of my brothers, because they never did nothing to help me with my bullies. They were the bullies. Every now and again, it'll work out. If you get you a bully that bullies. I won't rat out the people now who are bullies that bully bullies, and they help me out, but that was not my brothers. So, but the layout then, she had a long driveway to sleep. It's not sleep steep. I'm thinking about sleeping. I'm getting depressed. This is a slope that has a steep and an incline. And a gated yard. The move is on my mind. Me moving out of here is on my mind, and not having in the cold weather, how cold it is. And the idea of not having a place to go in this kind of weather. You know, you can sleep outside in April and May and June, July, and you can come out strong and be just fine. But I wouldn't have otherwise done it if God had put my ass out in the cold, different, all the fucking seasons of the year. I wouldn't have known about my skin condition. I would have been going on and gotten skin cancer. God knows what. Now that I know about my sensitivity to sunlight, I know to protect myself more often. So I would not have otherwise done it. Near-death experiences, you know, when that woman on the bus gave me a look like, she gave me a certain look. I felt what she felt. I felt like it was unsafe at that moment. I saw what she saw, but I didn't see it till she saw me assisting others, and she ain't saying what way, because it might be what saves our life, and I don't need nobody to fuck up my plan, but she gave me this look like, yeah, there's some reason you were calling your uncle. I'm at least give y'all 5 near-death experiences that I had. I'm referring to God and the deer. My deer, do they have to be recent? Maybe. All right, so 5 near-death experiences. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because I got a turkey. The turkey's still roasting. And yeah, this is the car wreck with Steven, you know. And I remember I've been so busy, like, with self-absorbed people, and all my former marriages was always about them, not me. It's hard to, since I'm crying, it's hard to have those glasses on. I remember Steven used to get irritated because I used to ask him for rides. Everybody asked Steven for rides. USA when I went to school there in Mobile, Alabama. And I remember I got so tired of Stephen, even though you're not supposed to use your student loan money for your own personal gain. I needed a car, and I only had like $1,000. I needed the 500 for groceries, and I needed the. I figured about 500 give me a good bicycle. So I said, Stephen, can you take me to Walmart so I get a bicycle? And you could tell he didn't want to take me because he drugged it out. Like I waited maybe 5 or 6 hours, and we went. And I knew the time of night that we were going. He might have been drunk looking back. I don't know what his toxicology read that night. I didn't have no alcohol that night. I was only 21, 22, 23, somewhere in that age group. I remember the year, I recall the year 2003. Sometimes I forget. And I remember Schillinger. And I have forgot over the years the name of the road. But I remember Schillinger. I remember Stephen was in a pickup truck. It was a rusted red, no, not red, maroon. And I forget what other color it was. Maybe I'm not going to push my memory. I'm referring to God and the deer spiritually, and they let me know. Don't push my memory too far. So, I remember, I don't know which way we went to get on Schillinger, hit a direction right in front of Walmart. Schillinger's a Walmart right on Schillinger Road, right adjacent to Schillinger Road. And I remember in the pickup truck, Stephen, I know the order. I was on the right side, the passenger side. Melissa was in the squeeze in the middle, and Stephen was driving. I remember seeing the car. I don't know if any of us shouted or not. Stephen, there's a car coming. I told my therapist. I went to therapy after this. I had a really bad therapist, and I remember a really white light, and maybe that was my shot at death. Maybe I was going to the other side. I don't know if that was the light from it because it was one big bright light. I don't know if that was. I didn't recall until now because my mom never let me cope after this happened. She just dusted it under the rug and told me to move on, and so I never went and completed it. She didn't even know I went to therapy about it. And, my therapist was on my mom's side, so it was. I had a really bad therapist, and I don't remember her name. Thank God. I would never reported it because I. Just would not, so that's why I remember this white light, real big, like on a boat, like those floodlights, shine big in my face, and I don't know, everything was like and I remember like glass everywhere, and I remember blood everywhere, and I remember standing up, just like I can't show you because my lower half is new, and just like if you ever try to climb a wall and realize gravity's not gonna let you do what you're trying to do, trying to climb a wall, ain't nothing to hang on to. I don't know which way his trunk was shifted, but there was a lot of blood, and I can remember. I don't know if Melissa was unresponsive or not. I don't know if I saw Stephen. And Melissa was closest to me, but I just couldn't get over all the glass, and from what Stephen told me, I went to shock, and I was transported to the hospital. I don't remember anything beyond what I just told you. Me standing up in glass. And I won't go any further. The hospital. This is just waking me up. This is waking me up because God is making me over, and He's amazing. Like this woman who was so positive on this bus, she has moved me. She has moved my spirit. She is so gentle and yet so powerful and aggressive and just intimidating but gentle and meek and humble. And I just to think about what He's brought me through. That I shouldn't have never had a job after that. I should have never went back to work after that. My uncle never went back to work after that car wreck. It took the jaws of life to, and maybe that's why my mom didn't want me to get the help I needed, because she wanted me to work, and so did Tyson. So that's a closed case now. I'm wondering, why would these people make me work? And that happened to me. It's probably why Keisha was so there for me, and I owe her my life. Keisha Jackson. I don't want to claim her. Luckily, there are lots of Keishas out there, but she was my at-home live-in nurse, and she was by my side. Probably why I'm gonna call it a memory, because I'm near this door right now. But she supported me through all of. And I know she never was mad at me. Tyson manipulated everything about the two of us, but Keisha, from my own mouth. You had some common sense, because you knew what it was for me, and you did what we did, and you knew how it was going to end, so there's no need to say anymore. But yeah, I owe you my life for being my hospice and rehabilitating me. I had to go through, I had to learn to walk again. And that's probably, looking back on it, why my mother and Tyson did not want me to pursue legal actions and go through, get the help I needed, because I should have never went to work after any of that. I should have never returned back to employment after that. This is making more sense to me now. Some things are starting to come together while the government wants me doing remote work, while they want me working remotely at a desk. And so I'm not strong enough to go into too much of that story. I'm going to skip to the hospital. And when I come to, Stephen said I went into shock. I asked him, I don't know how many months or days or years afterwards, I'm like, what happened once? I told him all I remember was standing up inside the, I don't think he was lying. I mean, he could have, but he looked like he was telling the truth. Because when somebody has something like amnesia, I had amnesia and I still do now, it comes and goes, and some of it's permanent, some of it's not. You can narrate what happened. You don't have to, be honest. But he looked like he was telling the truth. And, he said they transported you to the. I'm like, what hospital? He said Providence, and I was still hysterical, and I can remember saying I kept hearing this guy crying for help all night. Like I woke up in the hospital to a guy crying for help, and I kept trying to get out of my bed, and I was like, Steven, is that you? Is that Melissa? Because I went from being in his truck, flipped over, to being transported to the hospital. And I remember the doctors didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, because I was hopped up on opiates and whatever the fuck else they gave me to make me feel morphine, no pain, because of all the bleeding and the lacerations and the cuts. And when I finally, I'm okay, let's get to the hospital. When I got, that's like I said, hospital, my face was swollen out to here, right side. I escaped my room. I don't know if I asked permission or not, but I ran to the bathroom, looked at my face, and it was like a big knot right here that came out to here, and I can remember my jaw was, I didn't have to have facial reconstruct surgery. I was just really blessed, lucky and blessed. And I remember, I'm not strong enough to talk about this in detail, but I can remember the nurse just saying, you weren't wearing your seatbelt, and by law they have to talk to you a certain way. But she said if you were wearing your seatbelt, you would have died that night if you were wearing your seatbelt. But by law, I have to tell you, wear your. She worded it in a way that if she loses a job, she said if you were wearing your seatbelt, the truck hit on your side, baby. I'm not strong enough to tell you everything that happened to me in that hospital that night. But she said, baby, if you was wearing your seatbelt, you follow me where I'm going. And this is her words, her voice. This white woman said, it hit on your side. And this is, you rejected from the impact. If you had your seatbelt on, it would have hit you full impact on your side. This is the damage it did to you without the seatbelt. And if you had your seatbelt on, you would have been locked in and felt that full impact. She said, baby, you would not be here today. You wouldn't be here because you would have got that full impact. Because you got the impact and no seatbelt, it threw you away from the danger. But she said, by law, I have to tell you, you should have your seatbelt on. You should have had your seatbelt on. And full impact. And so, skipping ahead to Stephen. When I saw him, don't know the timeline, but I'm at the hospital. Stephen, are you okay? I hated Stephen before that. I hated Melissa before that. This is that Florence Nightingale. I had it for several people. Too many to count after this. They had it for Keisha. I kept hearing that guy crying all night, Stephen. No, we were transported to a different hospital. Stephen, that was you. We got into an argument for a couple of years about that. Lisa, it's your. He grabbed me up right here for it. It's your amnesia. You had a concussion, babe. Melissa, are you okay? Same thing. They just like laughing at me because I'm doped up on. They told me they sent me home with pain meds, and that went on for a couple of years. And Melissa's the same girl that we got into not fists, but almost into fists fighting because she said something offensive about me. Then she talked about my mother. If I knew then what I knew now about my mother, it was sexual tension with me and Melissa. She wasn't bad looking. She just had a weird dot right in the middle of her forehead, and every time you talk to her, you just want to stare at it. You know, it was like, yeah, she knew you trying to Indian. She was ill white, but she had Indian in her, and she knew you was like trying not to look at her damn dot on her head. Tyson was so brutal. He used to actually talk about it and tell her, and I was like, I can't believe that's why she hates you. But I'll get into more detail about that wreck some other time. But let's see, 4 more to go. 4. I think I'm gonna give even less detail. Let's see. I had a miscarriage that due to an assault, and I conceived the child by a assault, and I didn't get rid of the kid, but it was just the stress I was under because I was in going through some domestic stuff, and I got knocked up by a somebody else while I was separated, and it was safer to go along with the guy. I was so confused. I thought I wanted it, and so yeah, that was her name was gonna be. So I had one, and it would have been on paper, and her name would have been. I named her Sophie. That's the one that Bria was online, and she read my post, and I'm pretty sure she told Tyson. That's why he sped up my eviction. But I never told him how I conceived that child. The guy. That's why I have a paranoia about walking around now. This black guy. He grabbed me when I was out walking, and forced me into the car, and it's the act of God that I got out of his place because he held me captive for I'm not sure how long, and I managed to get out. He told me he worked at Ingles. He told me, you ain't got to worry about cash. You finally got yourself a provider, and it's like an old man. I'm not sure how old he was. He told me he was senior age. And I was really scared because he told me he had a son, an adult son, and I didn't know if I was in a sex trade or what. But he, yeah, I kept, the baby through most of the pregnancy, and I never told anybody before other than a little sneak peek publicly a couple of years ago. I'm not sure how old she would have been. It was around the time I was leaving Tyson, somewhere 2019, 2020, and so yeah, I had a little, I could feel him. What one pastor said, I could feel the life leave me. I felt the light. You can feel the life leave you, and so yeah, I met a couple women who had miscarriages, and I feel bad for Marie, even though she totally fucked me over and screwed me. But that's something I wouldn't even wish on my worst enemy. She is not my enemy. She is just not very nice to me, and but she's not nice to anybody. Just a personality. But I'm sorry about your miscarriage, Marie. I never had a chance to express my emotions when me and you were around each other. People who I was with were selfish, so I never got to express any emotion for her. My miscarriage came after hers. I'm pretty sure Jeff was the father of her baby. Or Greg didn't know, but she had a miscarriage, and anyway, so I had a miscarriage, and she said she had, I guess she probably thought I was just like everybody else. I believed her when she told me she was pregnant. So me and her had yeah, so Sophie, I don't know, I called the baby both Sophie, Sophia. I used to talk to her in my womb, and I'm not strong enough to talk about all that. So it's bittersweet, you know. I didn't want the kid anyway but I was gonna keep it because of how I conceived her. So, and now we on number 3, near death. So what's number 3? My evictions. Each time I think I can go on and live my life and I'm not suicidal, I find it hard to stabilize and get a place to stay. And it before I moved to Illinois and before I moved to Gulfport, Mississippi, it used to give me hope finding jobs. Even though the money wasn't enough cash to make rent, it gave me a little hope. It wasn't always going to be like this. I could save up, and but the thing is, the world has gone to such crap and Armageddon that every time in my old life I found a job, the panhandlers would like grab me up and want money, so it was hard to get to and from work without being harassed and bothered. So God fixed that thing. Mommy used to say, and I know I'm no death. I used to say, Mommy, when I was sick, Mommy used to say, God fixed that thing for you. So he fixed that thing to where I'm not working in public anymore for pennies. And but I was like running on a my uncle. I said uncster. My uncle said it best, like a hamster wheel, and I ain't going nowhere. So I used to be just working for pennies, and you know, a good damn well it ain't enough to pay rent, but just and then getting put out. You know, the idea of just being out in the weather and inclement weather, and then the idea of being out and all your shit just getting wet. It's just pushed me through all kind of emotions and near death. Number 4, not having a car. Same thing is pushing some emotions out. It's pushing my mental to a breaking point. Mother used to say, Mama used to say. Number 5, getting to California. I almost froze my legs off in this bullshit state. That's how hard it is to get around here.